Welcome back to the garden. It is Sunday the 12th of January and I'm filming today our mid-January seed sowing video. You might say, what are you doing? It is freezing outside, we've had a really cold week, and you're completely right, it's not great seed sowing weather now, but the weather's about to change. Next week where I am, the weather's going up to about 9 or 10 degrees, and I'm in the north of England, and that's plenty warm enough to make a start, particularly if you have a greenhouse or you have a warm space in the main house. Now, it's going to be essential to look after these seeds, and what I want you to take from this introduction, the most important thing here is not to get carried away too early. I won't be sowing tomatoes yet, way too early, or anything else that's soft for that matter. They can wait until February or even March, April. Later seeds will catch up. Don't get carried away watching YouTube. It's still very, very early. There's loads and loads of time. So let's get into what I'm going to sow today. Now, the first thing will be a fourth batch of sweet pea. This is the third batch. You can see they have germinated in this weather. This here is a second batch, and some of these are just coming through there. Look, the seed's a bit too high actually, that one, I'm going to leave that be. But they will germinate. And the third batch, I just moved out of the shelving rack there. It's over here. The fourth batch will go in there. And what we're sowing today is going to be some more sweet pea. Here is a packet. This is a old-fashioned mix. It's a very reliable sweet pea. I've grown them loads of times. I do have more stock in the shed. That's just a packet version to show you what we have. And the next thing we're going to sow after that is some chilies. Now I've got here some packets. These actually aren't new this year. They've got plenty of seed left in them from last year. They're both the same. They're a cayenne pepper rather. I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm going to sow some in here in the greenhouse. And I say the weather's going to be good this week, so it's going to warm up. They're going to go into a covered container, and they're going to sit on the shelf, which again is covered to inside the greenhouse. So that should give them plenty of warmth when we get up to 10 degrees, and we'll see if they germinate. As a fallback, I'm also going to sow some indoors, which I do every year, and that should be fine, again, in a covered pot, but on a sunny windowsill. And that really is the best way to do it in the winter at this time of year. So if you've got a sunny windowsill and you fancy growing some peppers, now's the right time to sow them, but inside on a sunny windowsill. But we'll see what happens on this experiment. So let's get started. Okay, so the sweet peas are done. I'll just show you. I haven't filmed them this time because I've already done that. If you want to go back to my channel, you'll see there's a sweet pea sowing video from this year, so you can have a look at that. I'm going to move this container over to the shelf where the other one is, and that's where they're going to sit, and I think in this week or so in the bright sun they shall germinate. So next, on to the chilies. Now I'm sure everyone's got their own method of sowing their chilies. I will show you mine, and I'm going to show you the kit I use and the soil, etc. So let's start with that. As I mentioned, I don't grow thousands of chilies, so I'm only going to start fairly small. I'm going to use these smaller trays here. I'm going to do it with these smaller trays placed in the larger trays. Two reasons. One is at this time of year I've got plenty of trays, so it's not an issue. And also I only have lids, the bigger ones. So the idea is going to be, I'm going to put these ones underneath lids. So they're in a mini greenhouse all by themselves. One set, as I say, will be in this greenhouse, one's going to be in the house. Next one I'll show you is this. This is the soil I'm going to use. This is a seed starting soil. It's a very sandy soil, as you can see. And I mixed it with perlite. Now, perlite is here. This is perlite. Perlite is a volcanic rock. It has no real mineral properties. It doesn't hold water particularly. All it is for aerating the soil. Now, chilies like a good, well-drained soil, so I always put perlite in there to make sure there's plenty of drainage. And that's the reason why. Okay, so there's the seed trays filled up with the soil and the perlite together. You'll see they're not completely full. I've left some space to put the seeds in and then backfill over the top. Now I've scattered, you can see there's some there, some chili seeds across the top of the soil. I'm not one for precision rows. It's literally a good scattering, so don't worry too much. Brilliant job if you have kids. Now the seed packet will tell you how much soil to put over the top of them. Most seed that size will be a very fine layer. It's usually fairly obvious. Larger seeds go deeper in the ground. Simple as that. So chilies, tomatoes, etc. all a fine layer. Now I am covering mine with this. This is vermiculite. There you go. Also, like the perlite, a volcanic rock. This is different. This stuff it's all spongy. It's got almost a corky texture. And actually this one will hold water, so it goes on top there to retain some moisture. It shouldn't matter too much this time of year, but certainly when I sow seeds into the summer months and it gets a bit warm in here, it's quite useful for keeping the pot moist. So I've put my vermiculite on the top of these seed trays. Now, If you wanted to, you could have covered the seeds directly on top with vermiculite. It doesn't really matter. I just do it the way I always do it, which is that way. So the last job in sowing the seeds is, of course, to give them a bit of a soak, like that. Now with very small seeds, perhaps not quite as small as those ones, you might want to soak the soil first. The seeds don't get washed around everywhere. I thought the chilies would be okay, but that's it. So the last thing to do for the ones that are going to stay in here is pop the lid on. I'm going to come over here and put them in there at the back of this. So when it's warm, there'll be plenty of sun. I think we're going to get up to about 15 or so degrees in here this week, which should be enough to germinate those chilies. Now, chilies will take between 15 to 20 days. Again, it says on my seed packet to germinate and come through. So don't panic if you don't see anything for a week or two. It does take a little bit of time. Patience with gardening. It is the key thing, is having to wait. You know what? In the modern world, I think that's really, really valuable. So last job today is to put these inside somewhere. Let's go and do that together. Okay, I'm indoors. This is a sunny window. It's south facing. You should be able to see the seeds there. They're in a plastic cover by the window, and that should be nice and warm, and it should be okay for germination. Now again, 7 to 21 days, we'll see how we get on. I'll do updates. I'll film another video in a couple of weeks when it starts warming up and we can say more things. For me, tomatoes will be next, so please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out any more. I'll see you next time. Happy gardening.